Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a victory, or at least a better run. Umbra Awoken. I feel like these don't synergize that well. Let's not get too academic. Why do I feel like they don't synergize that well? Both Umbra and Awoken units like to play at the front, but that's not strictly true, I suppose. Some Awoken units, like the Animuses, like to play at the back. We'll give it a try, of course. Units are getting sapped. Friendly units enter with lifesteal 2, or when you summon your second unit of the turn, gain 3 energy. But that's... Oh, there's a lot of good stuff here. Let me put it this way. I think these are both great. I actually think lifesteal 2 might be a little bit better. So this would make you come in with lifesteal 4. Or alternatively, we could think of it as just go for this one, and then you get the lifesteal right out of the gate. I think we'd rather go for the Gorge trigger, though, just so we know where we're going with the run, so we know its flavor profile, you know what I mean? This way we've got... should be fine. This way we've got one theme. We know our champion Gorges for the time being. Everything else is very confusing. But our champion Gorges. And has lifesteal 4. Okay, so what do we do? Personally, you know, I'm not too picky about it or what have you. We might as well have him gorge 2 times. Let's set up our train steward on the 3rd floor, just in case that's where the collector is. That sucked, basically. Let's sack down that guy to summon 3 great morsels. And, like, these morsels are great. And then, go ahead. Just wipe them as far as I'm concerned. And, you might as well turbo heal. Our pyre's gonna get hit quite badly. But so be it. We're not stopping you. We can stop... You don't do any damage to the pyre. And this isn't going to change the amount of times you hit it. So I think we're better off with, like, you get torched. Oh my god, you lived? You lived to be eaten. That's fantastic news. What would you kill in this situation? It literally doesn't matter, I think, but we'll get you toasted. And because you're dazed, you will live. You'll just take a hit in the process. So this is not an incredible start. But you knew, like, we're going to lack damage in some way. And really, we only lack damage, as you can see, on the, for non-relentless waves. Otherwise, our champion is kind of killing it. So, that was fine. I think I've come to accept that the Morsel Miner is worth the energy cost. I really don't mind the idea of giving our champion spikes, but I think it's just a little too much. Sting is always pretty decent, if only for the... You get a little damage, and can't trigger, that's not going to matter, and then some draw on the next turn. So I would say we're looking for a heavy unit, like something that hits hard. We didn't get it, but I think the Thorned Hollow means we can set up a tank, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think we'll... This is decent. In terms of... Multi-Strike is a bad one to pass on, and we could give it to our Thorned Hollow. We'd also really like our Thorned Hollow to have a lot... Well, it already has a lot of HP, we just gotta get it there, so it should... Sure. I choose not to let the Thorned Hollow pass. I'm gonna save the rest of our gold for a future shop. And actually, him having more damage, now that I'm thinking about it, him having more damage is amazing because the lifesteal will allow him to get to full HP and just cream some enemies, so... I think that's very positive. Whereas, the other thing is that I think it's very sensible to have our champion up at the top so they have more time to get gorged up. So this takes some of the responsibility off of them. So, we'll blast you. And, we'll blast you. And of course, we'll heal you to get some spikes going. But now you don't get to attack. Which is actually has cost you 20 HP. So that's a good thing to think about. Maybe it is more sensible for us to actually get hit. You're still gonna blow all the enemies away. There's not... Well, actually... This should let you heal for quite a lot, quite frankly. And let's just get you as disgusting as possible. And that, I was gonna say, the lifesteal heal is also gonna give you a rejuvenate, which is gonna get, it's getting ridiculous. I think we like Shade Splitter, sacrifice it. It's weird. You need more lifesteal. More HP wouldn't hurt. And we're not getting heavy gorges on you up here, I'll admit. And we can't use Mind Collapse on our own units. Otherwise, we'd get a Morsel Miner out there. But I really think it's going to be hard for a unit to kill our tank anyway, as is clearly seen here. So this is a very good position to be in. Yeah, that went totally fine. And it hopefully is only going to scale upwards here. Quite frankly, feel like a faster injection of morsels is our best play. And I do like Restoration Detonation a lot. I think it's a spell that I will not be tricked into thinking that it's bad. We could still really use a damage unit. Well, at least our sweep unit fits at the back. Apply damage shield 2 to the first friendly unit summoned each turn. I don't think we have one spell that would trigger the anvil, which I think admittedly is very good. But I think that the chain of gems is so pogged up on our spike boy. Oh, dude. Take a spell, because we're more likely to make a spell worth it later. Take one of these Shade Splitters. I always think about REM when I say Shade Splitter, because they have a song called Day Sleeper. Shade Splitter! Because you could do Dave Matthews as well. Won't you split my shade? Will you split it shallow, so that I can feel the rain? That one's not the one from the Mr. Deeds soundtrack, is it? It's a joke, sweetheart. Generally speaking, I would like to put my champion up at the top. I prefer them... You know what? We could put him in the middle. I think there's no problem putting him in the middle. Now, I think we like Thorned Hollow. And we have a choice here, admittedly. I don't think we need to get the sweep unit out urgently, because spikes will kill all these units to begin with. So I think you Shade Split, Cannibalize. Make sure you don't misclick on that one. We'll get you double gorging, and we'll get you single gorging for some extra damage. Okay, we do want you to live though, and that's... Oh, you got a damage shield already, which is a nice, it's a nice thing for us. Just thinking, just thinking. I think we want you to take all the hits. Yeah, that seems very sensible. The Train Stewards are basically like a one-cost damage shield right now. It didn't kill the spike units, so we actually got really lucky to be able to... I don't mind that. To be able to follow it up with something like this. Pog. Everything's still very okay for the time being. This is what we were looking for, essentially, was like a huge heal. Gets us in there. We know we're going to play a Mind Collapse. If you make it to the Pyre, I don't really care that much. I'm not sweating it. So we probably want a Shade Splitter. In fact, we might want to play, like, literally everything. We prefer you hitting the spikes, though, so that you all die. And then we play this and kill one of you. And then we just heal you. Yeah, sure. One thing's for certain, we're not sweating it right now. It's kind of a bad turn to draw a Morsel Miner with this capacity. Because there's a good chance, like we would have been really into it, we're just summoning that to die. Although, I guess we could do it that way. In which case, you know, now that I think about it, why don't we do it this way? We can't just ignore a floor. Like, I recognize that maybe we've had some tricky runs, but simultaneously, I've also got to recognize I think we made some mistakes in our previous runs that have led to the situation we find ourselves in at present. So you're taking 249. I mostly just think this play is kind of interesting. So if I could get lifesteal, which we didn't, you do 9 damage. I'm just thinking. 9 goes into 45. So a double gorge here, probably, I was just going to say, you take 2 more hits, and you also have to hit us 2 more times. Which is very, very solid. And pretty unlikely you're going to make it through our champion, I think. And if you make it through our champion, you got a nasty train steward up at the top, just waiting to bother you. That went okay. So we want energy, but we have to take capacity. Shark Channeler. I mean, how could we not? That seems very interesting. This is also great, especially if we had taken Split Anvil, but I think this is super good. We really need a damage unit, but Wilting Sapwood, I think we can play it at the top. Mostly as an energy generator for us. And I think we're over here. Mostly because we don't really need nor want more units for the time being. So step 1, the train stewards no longer have much application. Our champion. I'm going to choose to actually give them more capacity so they can hold the sweep unit maybe. And then we can duplicate a card. Dunka, dunka, dunk. That is funny. The idea of 2 shard channelers at the back. But I think really, maybe like Restoration Detonation, even though it's at the common level, I think is still really good. Spikes 4. I mean, if we can't defeat spikes when we're tanky and don't do multi-strike, except on the unit that has spikes themselves, I think we got serious problems. So we're definitely gonna go like this. You're doing great, sweetie. We're gonna put you up here. All of a sudden, let me look at this for a second. Let me look at this. We're gonna set it up like that. You've already got 4 spikes. So we definitely want the gold. Now, what are we thinking here? I'm gonna be honest. I think that's your play. I think we accept, as is often the case, that a unit's gonna make it. We definitely let you get the lifesteal. In which case, we're gonna give you one of those as well. So our pyre's gonna take a hit, which is not a surprise because, dude, we have like no damage. Or we have very little damage going on in this deck. I think we do put the sapwood up, but we got too many tanky units that can't hold their own in the damage department. But at least we're slowing them down, right? So like this is big. This is big. You guys are taking a bunch of damage, which is lovely. I think just have our champion gorge a little bit. And then in terms of like doing damage, I don't know, 25. This does hurt you. I mean, in the sense that you can't hit our pyre more than once. I am very worried about our pyre's overall health, though. I would say that this is a big one. So now we stop the bleeding there. You're only taking 5, which means you're going to do 11 to the pyre. I can't really stop you from that. So I think that we're better off going heavy into the super spike territory. And then creating like a floor that's pretty nasty. Yeah, stacking up a nasty floor. Not doing nearly enough here, but also not really getting much to change that. Which is sobering. So that was 12 extra damage. This tends to be... At least we're killing you. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you taking 1 extra hit is suitable? Gave us an extra 25 damage. This is going to be hard, though. We're falling apart, dude. Okay. Obviously pretty terrible. I think literally you just play that. And then, how the heck are you gonna... how the heck are you gonna do this one? The answer is very simple. You're not. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'm just kidding, but we'll be starting up another run. Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, we had one little peak like 3 episodes ago, and now we're in for the fight of our friggin' lives. Give me a combination that makes sense. I'm begging you here. We could stop randoming, but I like to live dangerously. I'm gonna stop you right here. This is like cowardly, but I'd also really like to have a good run. Stygian as our primary, melting as our secondary is a recipe for a 10-minute episode right now. We need something. We need something. A little bit like a Hellhorn Awoken. Awoken and Umbra. I was actually having a pretty good time with the Awoken Umbra run, so we're gonna try it again. Gain 7 energy on the first turn of battle. Or the first time each turn a friendly unit is healed, draw 1. I think that's a little bit more consistent. This is a flip of our last one, now that I think about it. Let's go with Spikes 10. It's pretty minor, but well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not pretty minor. And the units are getting stronger. I am going to turn it on, because getting a unit draft here is important to me. But man, let's focus and try to get ourselves out of this slump, because these Covenant ranks are coming fast and furious. You're doing 13 damage. Spikes 10 will kill the unit that is most annoying here. And how much? We got 3 space? Dude, that's a win. Look at this. Look at this. That's pretty good. I don't know if we're gonna draw, because that doesn't count as healing, but you know, it's the principle of the matter. One of these days, we're gonna start getting those collectors. And when I do, oh, it's all over for you. Let me draw, please. And quite frankly, just want to keep my champion alive as long as possible. I don't really care if you make it to the pyre. 4 damage. You're gonna live long enough to... Alright, we'll try to play this to slow down the Axe Maiden on the next floor. If we could get them below 20 HP, we'd consider that a solid situation. And we're just, again, trying to make our champion a little bit stronger. That's good. Yeah. Are we hitting you twice? We are. So you're not gonna hit our pyre more than once, which is really all we could ask for right now. See, we're thinking ahead, and this one, we're not even messing with this one. Alright. So we need to find a way to kill waves. Our pyre is in more danger than anything else right now. Wildwood Sap is really good. Do we need a second one right now? I think they're all a great addition to the deck. I do think Wildwood Sap is probably the best. I gotta be honest, Packed Morsels was kind of killing it for us there. And then... I don't know, man. I understand the value of sweep, but spikes are also kind of sweep. I almost wonder if you can't do a Morsel Maker champion floor and try to let that get you somewhere. Oh my god, are you kidding me, man? Alright. Alright, don't lose hope. You being innately a little stronger. There we go. Now, we do need to get you killing weak enemies. And we also need you to have a protector. Enemy units appear on each floor. I will not. I will not. So I would say... Is the Morsel Maker 1? It's 1 capacity. Okay, so check this out. Oh, but you have spikes. We're gonna do it anyway. Why are you not taking... Oh, because you guys are dying to the spikes, but you're not getting any Slay triggers. Oh, well. And you know what? Let's get this going so we got a better chance to kill that collector. The gold is kind of a precious resource right now. Okay, or not. That's fine, too. So we want our champion to gorge every turn. And this is pretty simple. We'll also just heal our champion every single turn. For the time being. And I don't really care if you don't really care if you make it to the boss, because you don't really do anything. But we can make one unbelievably strong train steward, and keep you going, and then draw, and then keep you going, and then keep you going. So a sweep unit is amazing here. This is real solid stuff. And I mean, we're just good to go, so let's do it. So I do think our sweep unit does not pair well with our champion, because our champion is stealing all those easy slay triggers. I think we gotta try to amp up the spikes. Maybe get a little extra capacity for extra morsels. But morsel maker and our champion pair okay. Are we gonna... I don't know. I feel like we need another unit as soon as possible. And thank God we have a unit that... I mean, to be honest, the Awoken Hollow is a really good tank. But I think we need something that's a little bit punchier. And as far as duplication goes... I don't know if we really want this many packed morsels. What would you be happy to see? I guess the Space Prism is good enough to be happy to see. What do you got for me? I feel like, you know what I'm going to say already. Hellhorn has been very useful for us in the past. And I do think Dark Deal is good enough. We do have 30 cards. Are you kidding me? We got 30 cards already? 31? We just got started. Don't you start with like a 22 card deck? I guess the deck starts real bad. So you're incentivized to add stuff, but we got to be a little smarter on this one. So, I love the sweep here, don't get me wrong. But we need to find a way for you guys to live. Explodes, does 1 damage. So this is it's a heavy floor. It's 15 plus 10 plus 4. So it's like 29 damage. I feel a lot more comfortable setting up like Sentient and Morsel Maker on this floor, and then putting Shattered Shell here. I think they need their own floor. I don't know if this is going to let them pog up as much as I would like, but I think they need their own floor. Or at least they need to be the star of their own floor. Now the Animus is kind of going to steal some of your thunder. I'm going to level with you, and you're going to be the tank, which you're going to hate, but... it is what it is. Now, as far as healing goes, both of these on the champion does something for me. It does something for me. I'm interested. How you guys doing up here? We're going to get a kill, which is advisable rather than taking 10 damage on Shattered Shell, I think. Which I'm still trying to figure out how to use, quite frankly. In the productive way, at least. Don't really want to play packed morsels right now. Man, we're really gonna have like a... The train stewards on the bottom floor are gonna eat good. Let me just say it that way. And this is a very strange floor where we probably also could have gotten away with playing Wildwood Sap. But I don't mind having that sit around for a little longer. 36 of 36. You're going to take 1 damage. You're not getting the kill either. Oh, you're taking the damage from the thing dying. I can't summon a train steward because it will not live. Plus 3 damage. Still keep that on our champion. Lifesteal? Alright. I doubt we're going to get too much out of that. You know what? That's good enough. I'm glad we drew out of our dead weight. It's weird. It appears to be sort of doing something, which is exciting, I suppose. Yo, are you getting a kill? No. But, yes. Okay. I still can't summon a... Well, nope, still can't... Well, okay, hold on. Let's throw the freaking kitchen sink at this thing. I see why this is a problem. Alright. Congratulations on your newfound lifesteal. Damage shield will apply to our champion. 3 HP is the best you can do. Quick little heal in there. You know what? That's... We're not at the limit? Now we're at the limit, probably. This is obviously not amazing so far. I don't think it's that bad. It's is certainly a little weird. But I think we're getting there over time. Or immediately, alternatively, is also cool with me. Now again, this is just for sport, just for bragging rights. But I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh baby, we beat the first boss. Ladies and gentlemen, there are those who thought it couldn't be done. Just kidding. But we did get there. Purge. Deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit. Add a stronger version of this card to your discard. So I think this is what we want. But let's try. Let's try. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. And I guess we'll take capacity to fit them both on the same floor. Umbra Awoken! What are you doing? Why am I talking like this? I don't know. Okay. We gotta remove some cards, but I was gonna say, God, I would kill for a gorge. So now we have a gorge floor we can set up and maybe free up some space elsewhere. In terms of spells we'd like to see every turn. I mean, it heals for 1, draws 2, gives you its energy back. I think this is a good time for that son of a gun right there. And I mean, if we can make it even cheaper, oh baby, it's even better. And then plus 10 magic power. Maybe I can get you started off on the right foot there. I don't know. Thanks for the gold. I kind of want to reroll and then make Blazing Bolts cheaper so that hopefully the future versions of the card are cheaper as well. Spikes and Rejuvenate, I think, is where we want to be there. You're soaking up all the heals. We have 34 cards, which is truly a horrendous situation. We will not turn that on. We draw, though. We draw a lot, which is better than... It means that the deck is thinner than it looks. Which I understand is a comical sentiment. But so I would love for you to die, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we might want to set up something on the 3rd floor. But we definitely start here. You start. Oh, but you guys are going to die by attacking. It's beautiful. Okay, and graft. Lovely stuff. We only draw 1? I thought that... Oh, we draw 1 this turn and 1 next turn. Okay. So I think we then, like, Maker and Master. Which means we probably don't want Animus on this floor. Because it'll cause it to go over the character... Or over the... We'll lose morsels due to the limit of... the amount of units you can have on a floor. But instead, we do have the opportunity to kind of pog up on our Animus, maybe. And we shouldn't need morsels at the bottom, because there's going to be 4 every single turn. The hard part is going to be keeping our champion alive. But again, this is now... We're getting heavy, heavy benefits out of that. How are you... Oh, because you don't do any damage. So, okay, that's great. And then we'll have you super heal. Kind of like the idea of you just doing 15 damage and also getting another regen trigger. And then, at least it's energy. It's complicated, but it's doing good stuff. So we do want our Overgorger to really take the space on this floor, but for the time being, this is going totally fine. I would say you probably put Overgorger down. You can only fit 1 morsel down there, which is bad. Probably put Lifesteal, because the other unit has no... Like, our Animus has no life to steal. You get more spikes and more damage, you also get a nice heal up there. But in the future, this Shadow Gorger super floor would be better than having our champ down here. But based on the way that we drew it, I think the order is fine. Okay. So how does it get better? I guess we'll see later. Because it's just at 40 again, which is what it was at before. Or maybe it doesn't work the way I thought it did, but I certainly hope it does. I don't think anything's making it out of our bottom floor to begin with. Any boss, I should say. Enemies have kind of an unfair advantage there. So I think we'll give you Rage. And then just keep the heals coming. And put 2 heals on that, or 2 units on that floor now, and a little tank in front of our Animus. It seems like this run might have a chance. These guys are both dying, which is a great start. So why mess with it, quite frankly? Unless we had Blazing Bolts, which we didn't. That went very well. But the Shadow Gorger will be even better. The only problem is whether or not the Shadow Gorger will live, because they kind of need a tank in front of them. Lots of tempting stuff here, but I feel like the size of our deck is too high for even focused growth to be what we're looking for. Probably I would just start to really feel the temptation to cut this one down. I support this right here. The Stewards have no reason to exist. The Regens and Shade Splitters, we've made stuff happen there. I'll say. I mean, Spike's 8 is great. Regen 10 is kind of... That gets us going. Don't get me wrong, I like it on Dark Deal as well. Quite frankly, we don't need many restores anymore. Can I pay? I'll pay. Get rid of another Train Steward. Which, they exist at this point exclusively to eat, like, a hit. If they eat a hit, then everything's okay. But the less we have of them, the better. So we're back down to 31 cards. Spell Shield 2. I feel like we don't target any enemies with spells. We might with Dark Deal, but that's about it. So this seems like free money for the most part. Gotta be honest. It's kind of an interesting time for the Shattered Shell. Which would get a nice little damage bonus. You're taking 8 damage right now. I don't really want to play this and make you take 12 instead. So I think we'll put you up here. This is draw, at least, and it gets it out of our deck. Not being able to play that sucks real bad, though. And to be honest, I think you taking a hit so this guy can live longer is positive. I think that's positive stuff. Alright, so tanks on that floor is what we're looking for. Now, honestly, we're not going to draw our Overgorger for another 300 years. So, Morsel Master is going to come up here with our champion. And then... So, you're doing how much damage? You're doing exactly 4... You're doing exactly 14. So, I think we have an obligation to keep you alive. That's all I want to do about it for now. We'll talk about the rest in a bit here. A little double life steal. If I could just get you some actual damage, that would feel nice, I think. But we'll start there. We knew we weren't getting the gold. Okay, so the Train Steward up in front here. Does that do enough? It does do enough. So you're getting like quite strong. This is essential, and you're not dying, huh? It's kind of amazing. I think we gotta, even though gorging is important, I think we have to protect our sweeping unit as much as possible. But now that I think about it, I'm like, our sweeping unit is just gonna eat up more damage, which is not really essential. What they need to do is eat up more health. But I will say, for the time being, they're doing a great job. I do not think I can... You know what? I'm wrong. You're only doing 6 damage, dude. You're already done? You're done? Okay, so then I will heal you. So you're actually living, which is really a testament to your own desire to survive. I actually think I'm going to try to keep you cruising here. Just because, like, the value that you provide here is out of control. Let's give you some rage. And, I mean, you can handle the morsels up here. And the more damage shields you get, the better it is. Okay. I think if we could spend gold to give our sweeper just a little bit more HP, or 25 more would also be pretty sick, we'd be loving life. Still more important to me that you get this. Damage, more applicable up here. Damage, more applicable up here. And you can't deny it, like, it looks like it's going pretty well right now. If you could just live through the first attack, oh baby, if you could just live through the first attack to kill all of the minions. I'm willing to play this for the energy, and then at least we're taking out the other minions. I think that's the best we can hope for there. And then just get some energy next turn. Believe it or not, our second floor is really the doozy. Clearly that is a bit scarier now that I look at how the second floor is going for us. We're doing 378. 406. You had a spell shield. That's right. Not like this. That all I ask of you is not like this. 40 damage. Pretty poor. There's, like, I think literally nothing we can do to change that. Because these guys will only take 2 hits, which is not going to move the needle. How much damage? You have 1 damage shield. Oh my god! Well, we're still trying. We're trying all sorts of new stuff. Maybe the Shadow Gorger would have made the difference there. But for now, thanks for watching. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time. But yikes. Yikes.